The farm is really special because it's a 1920s farm and not many people are doing this time period.
The 20s wasn't that long ago. It just wasn't that long ago. You can meet people who remember it, but it feels old. And reaching back and interacting with a time that was just barely 100 years ago, it compresses the timeline in your mind a little bit.
The farm was established in 1995 to illustrate farming primarily in the 1920s, from horse-drawn equipment all the way up to tractor power.
So things here, if they're not actually old, they're made in a way that things were made in the 20s. It's easy to get the impression that you're in a place that's been here for a long time. The 1920s was a really fascinating time in the history of American farms. Automation was coming to farms for the first time. People were still working with animals. They were still plowing with horses and plowing with oxen. They were still using animals for labor. They were also starting to use tractors and starting to use mechanical grain elevators. Having this old technology that people can actually put their hands on, it's wonderful.
We're very dedicated to having heritage breeds of animals here so that people can see exactly what the different types of chickens and the cattle breeds and the breeds of horses that were used here. The homes are all decorated in genuine antiques. So when you open the door of the Gibson farmhouse or the I. Floyd Garrett tenant house, you are literally walking in to a living museum.
One of the things that we do is try to model humane farming. You know, animals that live stress-free lives where they're well cared for are happier, easier to be around, and in the case of our pigs and their cattle, they make tastier food.
In the 4.5 years that I've been here, there has not been one single livestock or animal concern raised by a public person. So that tells me that we are meeting that expectation of humane animal care.
It is so important to know where your food comes from. Especially as a chef, I take great pride in using ingredients from our farm as well as other local farms. Not only do we produce hogs and beef cattle, but we also grow fabulous heirloom gardens. We grow really unique things here like gooseberries, currants, hazelnuts, rhubarb, lots of heirloom vegetables, things that most people aren't growing anymore. I get the chance to use them in my dinners and I get to share them with the community.
So whenever we have food events, I always set up the buffet or set up, the house, and I kind of run the front of house. So I really enjoy it because it kind of brings together a lot of things that I enjoy, which is good food and families and the farm. And so it's kind of like an intersection of things that are really important to me.
We have Hereford cattle, we have Berkshire hogs, standard-bred horses, miniature horses, New Zealand rabbits, Suffolk Oxford sheep, and over 15 different chicken and duck and turkey breeds.
The chickens obviously produce eggs, the ducks and the turkeys do as well. They're here for educational purposes, and once they're done laying eggs, they just get to retire here. We keep them. The farm offers 5-course farm-to-table meals that have really taken off in the past 4 years. It's an adult evening where you can come out to the farm. Your dinner is served on the mismatched old 1920s china, and you just get to be in a charming farm environment and enjoy a nice farm-to-table meal that really features our meats, our heirloom vegetables, fruit, whatever we have on hand.
I really like the farm-to-table dinners because it creates a sense of community like no other. And just coming together in a period farmhouse and just sitting at tables with people that you don't know at the beginning of the night and then going home after you've exchanged phone numbers and emails. My other favorite event would have to be trick-or-treating with the animals because this is the time when children are making memories with their families.
You've got people interacting with animals, interacting with each other. There's the candy and the costumes, and the animals are in costumes, and they interact with those costumes in ways that you might not expect.
They're excited to see the animals. It wasn't about the candy, it was about the animals.
I love working with the families, but I love working with the animals with the families. So there's a lot of kids that come out here that have never interacted with large farm animals like cows and horses, and I really like having that relationship with the animals and being able to share that with the kids. It's so important to experience the outdoors in a positive way, in a way that's beautiful, and in a way that they learn something.
I teach a poultry class here where I teach people how to raise chickens, turkeys, ducks, how to take care of them. And I've had multiple instances where people have come back and they have pictures for me. And they're like, look, here's my phone, here's my pictures, here's my coop, these are my chickens, these are my ducks. And that is huge to me. We've had people take seeds and come back and, just tell us about these wonderful gardens that they've grown. So to know that you can make a difference on somebody's life is pretty amazing.
We've gotten so much good positive feedback from the community about just being here. Not even our programming, but just being here and being a positive place for people, and especially children, to experience the outdoors and develop an appreciation for the outdoors.
It gives people a relationship with the land underneath their feet and the food that they're eating that they might not otherwise get a chance to have.
The local foods movement, the Know Your Farmer, the I'm going to claim back better health movement has all come to rest here.
It's a place where things feel like they kind of stop and you can take a breath.
It's overall health, it's entertainment, it's enjoyment, and mostly making memories.